feel like a trip back in time because I did this like a year ago, almost a year ago, like 11 months ago. But I've been chasing that breaking up, and after fixing or changing the circuit breakers, it seemed to be good, you know, no issues. So I took the bike out the other day, completely forgot I had my camera and mic and everything, I forgot my mount. So it's kind of annoying because I didn't get to record what it was doing. But I took it out in the morning and it sat outside and it got poured on all day. And then after that, it started, but it didn't want to run right. Then it didn't want to start, and it felt like it was a misfire. You know, it felt like the timing was off, which is like, how could the timing be off? And so I'm trying to think, like, what would moisture cause the bike to start doing things like that? And I was lucky enough that it did start, it did run well enough to get home. But I kept thinking about that ignition module, and I've been thinking about this ignition module for a while. And I said, you know what? So I'm not gonna take a chance. I'm just gonna change it. It was an Uktima, which I believe is a lower spec version of the Dyna module. It's made by Dyna, but to a lower specification. So I'm gonna replace it with an actual Dyna module. And we'll see how it goes. I'm also, just for the hell of it, because if this doesn't quite solve the problem, I'm gonna probably bring the Uktima one with me, maybe, I don't know. But I'm gonna throw a connector on it so that I don't have to run the whole harness up and down. And the other thing it started doing, the brake handle wouldn't come all the way up from, you know, you press the brake, it doesn't release completely, and it was causing the rear brake lights to stay on. Now, I don't know what's going on there. I figured I'd start maybe with popping the calipers off, cleaning them, compressing them, a little bit of lube maybe, I don't know, and putting them back together. I mean, maybe the calipers need a rebuild. Good possibility. You know, original calipers, and they've been sitting for a while, but they seem to work good. I don't know. We'll see. But the first thing I'm gonna do is get this wire run and get it up over to this area here where I'll splice a connector in. I think that makes the most sense, and should be pretty straightforward. I'm most curious how this thing's gonna run though, because if there's one thing this thing did was like it would start no problem, and that's what really got me thinking, you know, module. I tinkered with the carburetor a little bit, but nothing out of the ordinary really, you know. Just, it sounds like it was out of time. I don't know. I'm gonna get this wire run up and get this thing timed, which is, it was more or less straight up and down, but I'll pull the plug and get it timed. I will say, I do like that these are really simple ignitions to install. I mean, you pretty much can't screw them up. I'm sure you could screw them up, but you pretty much can't. The last time, I kind of folded the wire over because I don't think there's the room to go any other way. It is a little tight. I'll give it that. Let's see. Yeah, it is. I'll give it, it's a little tight, but once you got it more or less in place, you know what else I should probably do? I should probably check all the dip switches. That'd be smart. Let's get this a little bit tighter. It should be just fine, I think. I don't know. I think so, but I don't know. Just in case I ruin your life, what the hell do I know? Okay. Yeah, I think that's more or less how I had it. Just kind of ran the wire snug up against here. Simple. Simple and easy. I don't know if I mentioned that the gasket was torn, and I'm not going to say it was recent evidence of water, but there was some evidence of moisture along the bottom. It wasn't wet when I took it apart. I don't know. I don't know. Could it have been a little moisture getting in there, messing with an electronic part? I want to say absolutely, but I've got nothing concrete. So this is kind of a little bit of a shot in the dark. I don't know, educated guess, let's say. Why is this thing not going in like it's supposed to? Come on. Why do you not like me today? There you go. Obviously, we're not going to tighten it up. We're just going to get it right there. Still be able to turn it. Yeah. There you go. Check the dip switches. Get ready to, no, because it won't time unless I connect it. So, okay, I'll check the dip switches and get the connector going. Looks like I still remember how to do this from doing the controls. Let's see. I think this is coil and tack, and this is vacuum switch, power, and not used. So let's stick not used in the middle to match the other side's not used. And then I'm gonna say, there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. It's just a matter of personal preference. And I just need to make the other side match. And then I'll be good. Famous last words. Let's see. Stick the green one there. And pink. That looks about right. Retaining clip. All right. One side done. Nice and nice. It'll end up tucked down inside here. I think pretty much away from everything. So I'm not too worried. Yeah, I can go in either way I want. Go like that. Away from the exhaust. And then I just plug in the other side. But I got to wire the terminal ends. So I'll do that, get it connected, because I think I got the dip switches right. Number 1 down, 2 up, the rest of them down. 6,000 is the lowest rev limiter, which I was hoping for 5,500. I don't know why I felt like the Ultima one had 5,500. I could be wrong. Anyway, I'll get this side done, plugged in, and then we can see if it lights up. All right, I've got my connectors in, wiring in place. Plug it in. I think something like that. Something like that makes some sense, right? Yeah, and then I'll zip this out of the way there. Nice and nice. So, let's see. I know the engine's not going to be completely in time, but let's see if the light comes on. It does. All right. It's getting power. You pull the plugs and get this thing on time. And then I bet you it'll run like this though. But you know what? No, I'm not getting ahead of myself. Let me set it on time correctly. I don't know if you can see, but I got the thing in time. Now, I'm gonna do the rest of this. You're gonna laugh, but I'm doing this, I think, by memory. So, key on, right? If I remember right, this thing's probably nearly spot on. Okay, so status is on. If I remember right, you just turn it in the other direction, just until the status light turns off. So like right there. Right there. We lock it in place. Obviously within reason, because these are not very large. And if I did it right, I think I did. If I did it right, I put this plug on. So surprisingly, so the last time I did it, I don't know if the crankcase was more sumped or something, but first of all, it wouldn't stay on the timing mark. But in the process of turning it around, turning it over, I should say, it would spit oil like right in my face. It was very annoying. Let's see. 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. 1st and neutral. All right, pop the plugs back in. Let's see. Let's see if I had any luck. Let's see if the ignition was my issue. If it's running like shit now, then the only other thing I could think of, possibly, is maybe somehow water got in the gas or in the tank. I don't know. I mean, it was raining bad, but I don't know. It felt like ignition, because she fired up. Here and there, it would run okay, like. But I put it to you this way, and I said this to Chris. I said, if anything, this was a good time for it to happen, right? Because if this would have happened, and I have a feeling, you know, Chris is hopeful. He's like, we're not gonna hit rain, we're not gonna hit rain. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're probably gonna hit rain. And I'd much rather have had this thing happen to me here, regardless of what the issue is. Whether it's that there's water in the fuel, which is a possibility, but easy to fix too. Or if it was the module, which is what I think it is. Back together. You know what? I'm gonna throw a couple zip ties on the wire before it gets hot. I can do the calipers afterwards. I'm wearing my glasses. I hate this. I can do the calipers after this thing's warmed up or even running. But to get the zip ties in nice, I'll do that now. I guess here's the test. Let's throw the fuel on. And I'm gonna cross my fingers here. I'm gonna do like I typically do to start this, which is basically nothing. I'm gonna lift the enrichener up. Now I had been playing with the carburetor, so I wonder if I'm gonna have to play with the carburetor again. Not putting this cover on just yet. Ignition, it's in neutral. Ignition on. I'm gonna bet that thing was bad, because this thing was not doing this yesterday or 2 days ago. Whenever we had the bad storms, thunderstorms. This is back to the old girl. This is how she was. Except for that. Let's see. Oh, she starts right back. It's cold, I get it. See? And the other day when it was running, I probably should touch the idle a little bit. Let's see. If I can see it. That's part of the problem about being partially blind at this point, because I can't see any of it. Actually, I have a better screwdriver I borrowed from my friend Alex at work. I told him I'd bring it back. He said, take it on the trip for good luck. We'll see. If this thing actually gives me a little bit of luck and I can adjust the carburetor blindly, I might just take it with me. Jeez. The FatBoy is so much easier. You can actually kind of, there you go. You can actually kind of see the carburetor. I think that's a little bit higher. When it gets warm, it idles up. So I find it to be that fine line between, you know, you want it to idle good, but and not too low when it's cold, but also once it's warmed up, you don't want it racing. I don't want it racing. All right. Little light blinking, doing its thing. I like it. Tach's working. All good so far. All right, I'm gonna pop these calipers off. I'll let it warm up for a minute. Pop the calipers off, clean them out. So I don't know why it's doing this. See, brake light's on. Pull on it, right? Come here, brake lights are on. For whatever reason, this thing's not returning all the way. And if you give it some time, eventually it'll return a reasonable amount, but not, you know, like it just started doing this after it was out in the rain. I don't know. So I'll start with cleaning stuff and we'll go from there. Sounds like she did. Fingers crossed. So I did notice that the VOS, the vacuum operated electrical switch LED, never comes on. All right. So when it's grounded and it's grounded under high vacuum, the light's supposed to come on. So when it was running at idle, light should come on, right? But doesn't. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, maybe it comes on at wide open throttle. Well, that's not what the instructions say, but what the hell? Let's just take a look, right? So I shut it off, ignition on. If that was the case, then it would be on. And I know the LED is at least illuminating because when you take power away, it blinks. So I don't think it's gonna affect drivability too much. Looking at the curves, it's not a whole ton of advance, but it probably would give me a little bit more, a little bit better off idle. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that vacuum operated switch. That's for another day. For now, it seems like it's running good, and I'll do the brakes, and then I don't know if we'll take it for a ride. If I don't go for a ride tonight, I'm gonna commute with this thing tomorrow and really give it another shakedown. We'll see. Brakes first. So I popped this off, and I'm gonna tell you, I think this might have been stuck. Definitely not lubricated. I wonder if that'll do it. There's definitely gunky and funky inside there. So let's throw a little grease on it and see if that helps any. I think that could definitely have been an issue. This thing wasn't moving. I had to fight it out. I'm gonna say there's a good possibility that the reason it was so slow to return was just its inability to slide. I think that's it, if I gotta be honest. I mean, they were basically seized. So I'll lube it up, get it together, and I think, well, you know what? We could test the brake lights right here. No need to actually go anywhere. But I'm gonna say that's likely the issue. Oh, I hope so. That would be, whew, that'd be a relief if that's the actual problem. All right. Nice and lubed. Good amount of lube. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. All right, let me get this thing together. Oh, crazy how a little bit of lube sometimes. Look at that. Nice. On and off, goes all the way back. Look at that. A little bit of lube sometimes. All right. I think I'm gonna put the cover on it and have my nice Commuting gasket. I'm gonna pop this cover on, and I think I'm gonna pick this up bright and early in the morning. It's been a long day, but so far successful. I'm actually now more confident. I almost want to wash it. I mean, nothing crazy, just, you know, a little sponge bath. But pop this cover on, pick it up in the morning, sunrise, on the highway, and fingers crossed. See if she continues to run good. Gives me the confidence to keep going. 366 miles in so far. All right, I'll pick it up in a bit. Well, maybe not exact sunshine, but it's not raining, so I'll take that. Speed camera. Walkster. I think we're doing pretty good. I think that ignition is 100% the problem, and I love this seat. I love being in a real seat. She cruises along nice at 70 miles an hour. I told Chris I could do 75. It can, but it'll be better with the gear change. 75 is a little bit higher, like 34, 3500. Brake feels good. Man, that sucks if that ignition module has been the problem this whole time. But you know what? If it took a stormy day to point it out, then so be it. Oh, it's nice to be secure in the seat. Not feel like I'm going to fall off or the seat's going to twist and rock. Also nice to feel confident that the engine's going to do what you want it to do. You know, if you got to pass somebody or get out of a situation, like having that confidence is a big deal, I think. Might get a little sun, might get a little sun. Maniacs. Although they'll probably say the same about me. Fresh air. Union Street, House of Pizza and Calzones, a block up that way. I'm gonna have to stop there. Deep fried calzones. Nothing better as far as calzones go. I don't want it to rain, but if it did, I'm not going to be the most upset, only because, well, that'll give it another test. And I don't want to end up stuck in the rain in the middle of the country somewhere and have an issue. I'd rather have it here where I can limp it or push it, tow it, whatever. So that's why I said I'm kind of glad that it sat out in the rain that day, because ooh, it was heavy rain, and it showed a problem. Idiots. Oh, Harley. Let's go see if we can catch him. do we got? Very nice, very nice. Oh jeez, come on people. Jersey tag, yeah, Jersey tag. Another bike. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, BMW. Very cool, very cool. Oh, he's got one of those helmet things. The helmet brake turn signal thing. It's cool. It's a little overkill, I think. Brakes feel nice now. Amazing. A little bit of lubrication and the ability to freely move. Brakes feel real nice. He's using his turn signal. He's not a true BMW owner. Maybe BMW bikes are different from cars, I don't know. Alright, I've had enough of this. I think she's pretty well dialed in. I'm really enjoying the way it's coming along. That's the cool thing about commuting around New York City is you can just randomly run into motorcycles, especially in nice weather. More bikes here than people think. People are scared to ride in the city. I don't know why. I get it. A lot of cars, trucks, whatever. But I think it's almost easier. Yeah, baby. running good, so I can't really complain. In the morning is when I have no issue with traffic, generally. In the afternoon, on the other hand, yeah, it's a different story. But we'll see what we can make do. I'm still playing around with microphones, so we'll see just how well. Keep trying to do a combination of capturing voice and the motorcycle sound. And what I learned this morning, I think I did a decent job of capturing voice, and not a very good job of capturing motorcycle sound. So let's see if these tweaks work, and mostly I guess I don't end up clipping. You know, you'd think it'd be easy to, I'm not saying easy to figure this out, but maybe be able to find out like how to do it. It's not as, there's not as much information out there, or if there is, it's not as easy to find as I guess as you would think. C'est la vie. But so let's see. This is I guess another test. We're testing a whole bunch of stuff. You know, we're testing the motorcycle. There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I tend to go nice and easy. One thing that drives me crazy is people that fly in between cars. You know, you're catching a lot of people off guard, and that's not what you want to do. You know, you're flying, you're not giving yourself a chance to react. It's not good. That's how, you know, problems happen. I like to go nice and easy. I forget what the rule is. I think, if I remember right, it's like 15 miles an hour faster than traffic was like deemed to be like the safe speed to go when filtering or splitting or whatever you want to call it. So I try to stay in that sort of vicinity. But again, you never know. It is crazy though, because from reading some of the comments, like people commenting on how I do things or whatever, and I don't know how people are in other states. Like everyone assumes that New York would be like the crazy state you don't want to do stuff in or whatever, people will run you over. But I find for the most part, people are pretty good, you know. But I hear the comments and it's like, all right, I better be careful going some of these other places, because, you know, who's talking about you'll end up run over, bumped off the bike, shot? Like, okay, I think some people might have other problems, might be anger issues. I thought I had anger issues, but not compared to that. It's funny too though, because people, when they drive, there tend to be tells. Like if you're really observant of what the drivers are doing, if you're looking in the mirrors, if you're looking through the windows and watching like where a driver is looking, they'll give you a good indication of what move, you know, they're gonna make, or they potentially might make next. And then you have nice ones that signal. That's more of a rarity these days. See, before that guy signaled, I already knew. And that's the thing. And again, maybe it's just New York. I don't know. Motorcyclists. I've been doing good. I've been remembering to put my lights on. The little things. This lane's always a little weird because you got that tar snake right there, and you can feel it. Look at this one. Went that way, no, went that way, no, went that way. Jersey driver. They'll change lanes again, watch. I just gotta get past it. Nice and easy, nice and easy. What's this? Tow truck. Messing up my action. Chris and Jimmy, they don't like it when I do this. I can't blame them. I mean, although we're better now, but Chris had a Road King with tubes, and we caught a flat, and then couldn't fix it. Long story. Filling it up every half a mile to try to get it to a Harley dealer to get a new tube put in. So I understand that. Jimmy, on the other hand, we were heading down to Shoreline, Harley Davidson, New Jersey. And so I'm doing this on the Garden State Parkway, I think it was. And had I saw him, saw an unmarked car. We passed him, and then he jumped in the lane behind us and started following us. And I saw him, I just kept going. I don't know how long we went for, a mile. I kept thinking, well, he'll get bored. You know, we're not going super fast. He'll just get bored of following us, and he'll get back in lane, and then, you know, we'll continue on. We had one exit to go. It's not like we're going that far. But he was persistent, so after over a mile, I pulled over. I was the lead bike, and it's funny. Jimmy tells the story. He goes, "I'm watching him, and it's like, when is he gonna stop?" And what a, you know. And so I pull over. The guy comes up. Turns out he was off duty. Had his wife or girlfriend in the car or something, and basically just yells at me and says, "You're gonna get yourself killed. Get back in traffic with the rest of us." And we were like, okay, because I'm like a quarter mile away from the exit. So we popped back in traffic and got off the exit. But like, really, that's what your life is about? You're so annoyed that you gotta go and follow 3 motorcyclists to just yell at them, to tell them to get back in traffic like the rest of you? You know, grow a pair, ride a motorcycle. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, that's my story. Get the visor up. I'm alternating between visor up with the shades down and visor down. And I know that's going to change the sound. I don't know if it's catching wind or not. We're not going that fast. I don't ride with the visor up much above 25 or so miles an hour. But again, this is all a learning experience.
I'm gonna end up probably with just an external mic muffler and just capture mostly riding, I guess, during the trip. I don't know. If I can't get this microphone setup figured out. But more importantly, I'm getting the bike figured out. Microphone, listen, worst case, I just get footage of riding. I can add sound after the fact, you know. I can't add miles to a non-running bike, so that's what I'm most excited about. And I still got to look at that vacuum switch, because I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. I mean, the bike runs so good. But it can't hurt. It can't hurt to have it operational. What are you doing, idiot? Tesla, I didn't have to say idiot, right? You already knew. 390 miles, I should hit 400 going home. Somewhere between 400 and 500 miles is when I'm going to do I'm going to change the fluids, or at least the oil, at least the engine oil, and address, I think, the oil holes, because they're definitely sweating, I think, especially up by the oil tank. We'll see. I'm only worried about making that 90 right out of the pump. I think everything else is relatively smooth radius. I'll see when I get it apart. Come on. New York City, Brooklyn Bridge. So this highway, if you're not familiar with it, this is the BQE, but this particular section of the BQE is the promenade, and originally, you know, for me growing up, this was 3 lanes. Right where I'm riding now was a lane. But something, I don't know exactly what, whether it's lack of maintenance or design or whatever, the structural integrity of this thing is compromised. I just wanted to get a motor. Structural integrity of this thing is compromised, and all the weight that it carries, because it's the commercial route, it's like the main commercial route, is causing it issues, and they say potential for collapse. So the solution is not to repair it, right? Because that would be too much of an inconvenience. So here's where we close the visor. So rather than repair it, they simply made it 2 lanes, which reduces the effective weight on the roadway. And that's supposed to extend its life. It's not a permanent fix, but it's going to extend its life. How long, I have no idea. I'm getting a phone call and I am not answering. Because it is Friday afternoon, it is sunny out, it's probably work, and I've given enough blood for the week. Yeah, so that's just a temporary solution. The roadway is still going to fail at some point, but that's government though, right? What does government do is they kick everything down the road. And they're just kicking it down to when someone else is likely going to be in office, I guess. I don't know, instead of simply addressing the problem. So for the probably 10 years that's going to buy, we have to deal with ridiculous traffic of it going from 3 lanes to 2 lanes to 3 lanes to 2 lanes to 3, back and forth and back and forth. It's ridiculous. Here's another one. 3 lanes and 2 lanes that merge into 4 lanes. 2 of the lanes go left, and 3 of the lanes go right. And nobody knows which way they want to go. Especially not these two. The one guy is actually looking down at his phone. You can tell just looking in the mirrors. This isn't as much fun. I try to be respectful too. Like, I'm not looking to buzz past people. This spike, it's not as bad because it's relatively quiet. It's the other bikes. Like, I see people with their windows open, and when I'm coming by in the FatBoy with the drag pipes, I'm like, I feel really bad. You know, I try sometimes to just pull the clutch in, you know, just gingerly go by. I get it. I have bikes buzz me when I'm sitting in traffic in a car. It's not fun. Nobody likes it, you know. But also, nobody likes sitting in traffic. And if you don't have to, why would you? Especially today, what the hell's going on? I mean, traffic's usually bad, but I wouldn't say it's this bad, typically. Interesting. I bet you it's like one broken down car. I could go to the left, but I almost kind of want to see why it's this bad. You'd be amazed what just like one minor thing can do to traffic. Like, nobody knows what to do. Oh no, it keeps going. Traffic just keeps going. This guy wants to change lanes. Where are you going? North Carolina. Either change lanes or don't. Come on. Another thing, if you stop splitting, and then you're going to start splitting again, you're going to check your mirror for a motorcycle flying up on you. I've had that happen a few times where it's, again, they're going too fast. They're just going too fast. Look, either you're going to change, you know what? I'm losing patience with this guy. That's part of the problem. You try to be respectful. Try to give the person courtesy, change lanes, do what you want to do. And then they just sit there. They do nothing. What the hell is going on here? I gotta say, it's never usually like this. Usually there's like a 2-car accident or a broken down car like right here, and then you can just continue going like normal. Like, what the hell? I should have went the other way. Hindsight's 20/20, they say, right? Come on. You know what? I could always get off. Hey, how you doing? You're sitting there like an idiot. Still sitting there like an idiot. I'll let this guy go through if he can. Yeah, I'm getting off. This just keeps going. I do not see an end in sight for this. Oh God, come on. Come on, what are we doing? This is still kind of an industrial area. It used to be way more. And New York used to be way more, I guess, industrial. But now, who knows? Now industrial is like taco trucks. I'm not complaining about taco trucks, but you know, you can't just buy from other places and sell to people here. You gotta create stuff too. Oh God. I've had my fill of stupid people for today, for the week. And this commute home is pushing it. Brooklyn Army Terminal. I don't understand what exactly that means. But that's what it is. Like, I don't think there's Army. And terminal for what? It's in Brooklyn. Got that part right. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things that you quite often find in New York City, something that once was and is no longer. Like a peaceful commute home. What in the hell are we doing here? I gotta know. Nothing. Of course you're gonna stop. Of course you're gonna stop for a yellow light. Oh God. Oh, taco truck. I told you, that's the new industry here. Taco trucks everywhere. What I don't understand, I may have complained about this before. What I don't understand is how a taco truck is allowed to set up wherever they want, and like they could be on the same block or the next block from a brick and mortar taco spot or whatever, and they do like Grubhub and Uber Eats and all that stuff, but they don't have I don't think they have the same kind of like overhead, you know, and they can move, they're mobile. Like, how is that fair to like the brick and mortar establishments? It doesn't make sense to me. But I guess nobody complains, or they do complain, nobody does anything about it, or there's nothing they can do about it because that's just how New York City's laws are. Like, I don't know. Come on. But that's something that never made sense to me. Bike lane. I'm on a bike. God forbid you look where the fuck you're going. Not a stop sign. People really don't pay attention. I mean, painfully so. Oh, look at that. What is that? Old Plymouth? It's not a Christine, is it? I don't know. I'm not the best with old cars. That's a Chrysler. Christine, I know that much. I know Christine was a Fury. What a great movie, especially for its time. She got a nice bark to her, you know, for being relatively quiet. I'm not going anywhere. $397 just about. I'll do 400 by the time I get home. 400, nice round number. I have the piece to go in here, I think. I got it out of aluminum for this one and the FatBoy. Turns out it's the same piece to adjust the trip mileage, which I know reads 416 when the overall odometer only reads 397. I don't know why. I tried resetting it. The overall odometer read 0 and the trip meter read 100 when I got this thing. Why, I don't know. I don't know if it was from testing. Doesn't make much sense to me. But either way, that's what it was. La 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 la. I don't know why that gets stuck in my head. Actually, I know why. It's from, if you remember the movie Kick-Ass, but it's actually from a different TV show, which I don't remember, but my friend Louie does as a kid, and he would tell me, I wish I remembered what it was. I don't know. Either way, it's catchy and sometimes gets stuck in my head. Brakes feel so much nicer with everything greased up. Like it grabs right there, you know? Let's see. For the moment, got 1 or 2 errands to go, and then get home and finally get a breather from this week. So I will reconvene there. Here we are. Oh, there you go. Stay open.
lights off. I think she's nice and toasty, which is good. You know what? You can use sitting in a little traffic. Give it this, you know, I'm not going to say torture test, but giving it the true test. Let's see. We're at what, 215, 220 degrees. I'd say that's nice and toasty. Well, I think that's it for Friday. That's it for this week. I gotta get some more work done on the FatBoy if that thing's gonna be ready for Raider ride. I think I'm letting it run out of fuel. Somebody had mentioned in the comments about checking the push rod adjustments. I think when I change the oil and address the oil lines, I might pop the push rod tubes up, double check the adjustment. I don't think there's a problem, but you know what? It was a good idea. Doesn't take long to do. Why not do it? Well, until the next time, hopefully this didn't come out too horrible. The bike is running great. I want to thank everybody for watching, liking, commenting. Again, super enjoy it. Let's hope we get some good weather. Everybody ride safe. I'll catch you next time. Maybe raise the idler tick. All right. Have a great day.